Okay, it's turn 41. I know I skipped turn 40, and to be honest, it was a very long turn. There was a very long delay in it, so I kept putting off recording it and putting it off, and eventually I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Nothing terribly interesting is happening this turn in terms of what's happening in the game, so I never even recorded it. To recap, I was taking provinces back that had been raided away from Nazca. I'd moved down here in order to rescue my Rephite Sage, and then dipped out with him, and now Mictlan is moving back in to take that fort. So, we have made a deal. We have come to an arrangement with Team Bird. We are going to basically just leave them alone. I am moving off of Nazca. They're going to take back Assad, I assume. They're probably also going to take back Lomark. I am going to keep the Curtain Wall. I'm gonna free this fort here that's being besieged by Supayas. Won't be a problem. And then Tevel here is going to go in alone to take the Black Alps, 158. Which is, I believe this is the Throne of Eternal Suffering. That's what Nasajin told me. So this is the Throne of Eternal Suffering, which is fine. We already have Misfortune, so more Misfortune will not particularly hurt us. And the extra order and stuff will help us out just a tiny little bit. Now, of course, we won't benefit from the productivity because we're already productivity 3, but it'll help some, and it will spread our dominion a lot harder. This one down here is the Throne of Knowledge, it turns out. It's not level 3, it's only level 2, but the Throne of Knowledge is a pretty good throne. That said, I'm not actually honestly interested in recruiting sages and lore masters all that much right now. I'm just interested in, although lore masters are cool mages, but I'm just interested in the throne points. So those two are 5. Then once we claim the Second Age, that's 6. That puts us at 9 points, so we'll need 4 more. That means we can actually leave Nuclear Monkey alone entirely, and hopefully not have to deal with him in any meaningful way. Instead, we can get the other points we need, well, at least over here. What we have to do is we have to take this throne away from him. Kanice Plain 139, and we have to take the New Coast away from Lucid Tactics. So, this army will be moving north. It's somewhat depleted, but it's still a whole lot of skeletons, plus quite a few Anakites. It will be moving, as I say, north. Old Dirty Bastard here is moving a whole bunch of Sea Trolls and some skeletons down. He's got these Anakites. Actually, we can leave the Anakites behind. We don't need them right now. Old Dirty Bastard is just moving down to drop these Sea Trolls off in Scorpion Cracks. I'm also moving Gravetongue the Mound Fiend, who I summoned turn before last, down into Scorpion Cracks to spawn Brephite Longdead, and I'm going to cram this as full of units as I can afford to, with the supply situation being what it is. Beyond that, yeah, these guys have siege defense 0.3 because they're undisciplined, so they're terrible at siege defense, unfortunately. Ilvik is about to die of his disease, so I'm going to take his disease boosters, give them to somebody else. Just a little bit of maintenance, and so is Voldan, actually, so we'll move those away as well. Great. So, here's the plan. I am recruiting another Talmai Elder. Hopefully this will be an Astral Random that I can empower in Fire. If not, I can actually empower him in Astral and then stack 2 Astral boosters on him in order to get him up to Astral 3, so he can summon a Hashmal. Hashmals are flying Holy 2. Ulm is about 3 turns away from Construction 8, at which point he'll be able to forge the Holy Boosters that can boost a level 2 Priest up to level 3. Since my Adons are level 2, the Mound Fiend is level 2, and a Hashmal, if I summon it, will be level 2 and quickly flying. That will give us several throne claimers. The goal at that point will be to rush the thrones. So we have this throne, that throne. This throne I'm going to take with the real Slim Shady. We're going to give him a Storm Spool, which will give him extra shock resist, and then of course our Blessing also includes shock resist. And then he should be able to go in and pretty much carve it up. It's mainly Springhawks. There is an Anunnaki of the Sky who could hit him with Thunder Strikes, but I think he'll be able to handle it. We're going to take this throne with Tevel, he has Awe, he's fire resistant, and this is mainly fire snakes, who are animal summons. He's fire resistant, he's fatigue neutral, he has quite high prot, which helps against fire damage, and he'll be able to cast Temper Flesh, which will lower damage to him and increase his fire resistance significantly. So he should be able to clear that throne. I'm a little bit worried about chip damage, considering that I don't have regeneration, because my nature income is still garbage. But we're working on it. I've got nature mages out site searching in several different places. I'm moving out more to site search. I will be hitting a little bit of nature income. And I'm also just waiting to get a level 2 nature mage, but they only come 5% of the time. So on average it takes 20 turns to do that, and I've only had this fort functional for like 5 or 6 at this point. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Basically, we're going to take that throne, we're going to take that throne, we're going to set up to claim them, we're going to get forts building on each of them, we're going to stack troops on them. This one needs less defense, but still some. This one is going to need a lot of defense. Then we're going to go after these two. They will have forts on them. We're going to have to forge gate cleavers in order to help. And I'm going to take my army, roll it up north, and the goal is going to be to smash through, take this throne away from Nuclear Monkey, claim it, probably, or just take it, then drive in to take the new coast. We should be helped in this by the fact that I've been told by Sai playing Nazca, and this this is obvious anyway. Marignon's god is dead. They took he said they took a Baphomet of a burning head. And so their ridiculous blessing is offline, so they don't have the ethereal portion of it, because that was the incarnate portion. So that being so, my Anakites will shred them. Now, he can still put up a pretty fierce resistance with defensive communions from his yogis. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful, because with the yogis and the gurus, he can do a lot of nature and astral stuff, and with rishis, when he has rishis, he doesn't have many rishis, but when he has rishis, he can do gifts from heaven, he can do big water spells, all kinds of things. He can really buff the crap out of his troops. That said, he can't buff them enough to take on Anakites on anything, in any significant numbers. And I will be bringing fairly significant numbers of Anakites. So that's going to be the plan. Is we're just going to smash through into this fort, the new coast, with overwhelming force, and if we take both of those thrones in addition to these thrones and the throne that we've got, and we hold the ones we already have, we win. It's a tall order, but I think we have better odds of pulling it off than we have of anything else. I think we have better odds of pulling it off than we do of outright destroying Team Pantis. I think we have better odds of pulling it off than we do of continuously fighting the war against the birds and then having to fight Team Pantis on their terms. I think this is better for everybody. Well, no, let me rephrase that. It's not better for everybody. It's better specifically for us and nobody else. Anyway, so that's the plan. Researching here, that's all we're doing right now. Dar is wearing his skull face. I have skull staffs somewhere. Who has skull staffs? Somebody's got a skull staff. I know I forged a skull staff. Don't you lie to me and tell me I didn't forge a skull staff. I am confident that I forged a skull staff. Did I not forge a skull staff? Damn. Maybe I never forged a skull staff. I don't really need death level 5, to be honest, but it would let me... It would let me get Wraith Lords. And it would get me up to where I could almost cast Will of Misery. That's really the thing. Which would be pretty fantastic, but might come later than I'm planning to go here. So, Gravetongue is basically going to go down here and then search death. I've already searched death really thoroughly over in this part of the world. Some of my boys here need to start searching for death in other parts of the world. Ili Ilima is searching there. I've got a pair of... Nikmapa and Pinches are going to come up here, and then I'm probably going to... Because, see, look, I've site searched, like, most of my territory for level 3 death. And then most of the rest I've searched for at least level 1. Thar, actually, why don't you cast Dark Knowledge? Just start casting Dark Knowledge every turn. I know it costs gems, but actually, Thar, could you also cast Dark Knowledge, please? Thank you. And Yonatun. I'm just going to spend all of my death gems right now casting Dark Knowledge. In an effort to get a little bit more death income, because I need more death income. It's turn 41, only having 8 death gems per turn is a little bit silly. My gem income in general is not great. I haven't spent a huge amount of time site searching. I've had a lot of Earth Gem and Fire Gem income, but all my Earth and Fire Gems are currently going to Ulm. Ulm has hit enchantment 7, and he is ready to cast Earthblood Deepwell as soon as he has the gems with which to do so. Now, of course, that will also set alarm bells ringing in the other teams, insofar as Riches from Beneath has not done so yet. But Team Pantis still thinks that we are their allies against the birds, which we have been kind of up to this point, and we've been keeping up the facade by skirmishing with Mictlan and Nazca down here. Don't know how much longer we can do that, necessarily. I've also got Seraphiel down here. Yeah, I summoned Seraphiel, and there was really not much of a reason to do so, but I've got her. Him. It. Anyway. Macklemore. I don't think I need Macklemore doing that, really. I'm researching Thaumaturgy level 5, incidentally. Both because it opens up some cool death and astral things, but also because it gives me Pyre of Catharsis. And Pyre of Catharsis will allow me to save the life of Tupac. We're going to get him a fire booster, a Skull of Fire from Ulm. And then he will carry that Skull of Fire, and he will cast Pyre of Catharsis, and he will burn out his disease. And since he is fire resistant and has a lot of hit points, he's actually very fire resistant and has a lot of hit points, he should be okay. And that will save him, and we'll all be happy because Tupac didn't die. But yeah, so that's the plan insofar as it is. Timing is going to be, of course, a little tricky here. Because we're going to need to get to where we can take this throne. And then we're going to need to take this throne. And I'm thinking the way it's going to happen is these 3 thrones are probably all going to happen at similar times. And this one is going to be a rush. Or it might be that these 2 happen real soon here. And then we rush both of these at the same time. But no matter what, I'm going to need to get Nahum at least down here. And I would really like to take this before he can build a fort on it. Next turn, probably, I'm going to send Nahum and all these troops move down to Sinkhole Swamp. I'm really hoping I can take this away from Nuclear Monkey before he builds a fort on it. Really, really hoping that. And I don't think I'll really be able to hide my intentions once I do that is the thing. I mean, it's not like Nuclear Monkey was born yesterday. He's been playing this game quite a while, and he's pretty good at it. So I think he'll know what it means when I take 139. Like, that's just outright a declaration of war. So, and it's outright a declaration of intent to try and win the game right now, given that we have all these thrones, given that we have access to them, especially because we'll already have taken this one. If we then take that one, that's like putting up a big blinking neon sign saying, I am attempting to rush the thrones now. I am attempting to rush the thrones now. It'll be pretty obvious, is what I'm saying. So, may need to engage in some distraction tactics, send some Detenu raiding or something, I don't know. But no matter what, we're going to have to take and hold this throne and then this throne in roughly that order. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes, and I'll see you in turn 42. Might be turn 43, depending on how turn 42 goes. Like I said, nothing terribly exciting is scheduled to happen in turn 42, so we'll kind of see. I'm actually just going to set Macklemore to research for right now. Might see again in turn 43, because turn 42, like, not much is happening on the battle map, as it were. If something interesting happens, I'll rope you in. Or if some interesting diplomatic sea changes happen, I'll rope you in for that. But I'll see you in the next video, whenever it is. Alright, so it's turn 42. You may have noticed turns have kind of slowed down lately. just taking us a little bit more time to get through it. Some people were going out of town. Some people had other things going on. So the game, if episodes aren't coming as quickly as you'd like, I understand. Turns aren't coming quite as quickly as I would like, but we're working on it. So, in terms of where we are preparing to make our play to end the game. Tevil here is going in against the Black Alps, which is mainly Fire Snakes and Will-o'-the-Wisps. He is taking with him 12 Anakites, all told. I have hand-selected these Anakites. All these Anakites are wounded. One of them is very badly diseased. The others all have either a couple of afflictions or battle fright, or both. This guy's lost his arm, so his defense skill is low, so he would probably die. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm picking out the ones that wouldn't be as helpful, and I've cut the number down to the fact that to the point where 3 blessings from Tevil will almost certainly hit all of them, or at least will probably hit all of them. So Tevil is going to bless, Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, and then attack large. This gang is on hold and attack rear, and these 5 are guarding him. So effectively, we're going to end up going in kind of 2 waves, which is a little bit unfortunate, but just how it has to be sometimes. And Tevil himself, once he's blessed, he'll be fire resistant 16, and then once he casts Temper Flesh, he'll be fire resistant like 20-something. So the Will-o'-the-Wisps here will literally be pretty much incapable of harming either Tevil or any of the Anakites, since they are already natively fire resistant to an extent. Once he blesses them, they'll be up to 19 or 16. And then Will-o'-the-Wisp's only attack is a Fire Flare that does a certain amount of armor-piercing fire damage. I think it's 10. And so they'll already be rolling at something like -9 versus protection, 10 or so. So they're not going to do any damage. Uzziah here is going to search for magic sites. I have relieved Millgate. And then we're going to start moving troops south. We do need to take this throne, which means we need a shock immune trooper, who in this case will be... where is he? Ah, yes, the real Slim Shady. We're going to gear him out with some shock resistance, and then he will go in and do the business, which he should be able to do just fine. We've also got Macklemore here, who is geared up. He's a fire guy. He's highly fire resistant and has a fire shield because of his charcoal shield and a fire brand. And he has a dragon helmet, which makes his morale very, very high. So, that's all nice. In general... obviously, we're going for the throne, so the real Slim Shady needs to start moving over there. I'm waiting on shock resist gear from Ulm, as well as a fire booster to give to Tupac in order to save his life, since he is diseased. If I get the fire booster, I can cast Pyre of Catharsis. He's fire resistant, and he has lots of hit points, so he should be fine. However, I may take this opportunity to forge him maybe a Red Dragon Scale Mail. Give him bonus morale. It's protection 16. His Anakite armor is actually protection 17, so it would actually lower his protection slightly. He's already got a belt. He's already got an amulet of anti-magic. He could probably use this Pendant of Luck. We've got this Ring of Water Breathing that actually we don't really need, since I figured out I probably wasn't going for Bishop Fish in any meaningful way. I am going to start casting Voice of Apsu, however. And I'm just going to start casting Voice of Apsu every turn in order to find a little bit more water gem income, which can always help. I should have been doing that a long time ago, probably. Old Dirty Bastard is taking his troops down here to guard this throne. A couple of my boys over here are about to die of disease. That's fine, I am replacing them. I'm a heartless monster. I'm just replacing people as they die. Over here, I'm not actually recruiting any mages, which is a little bit of a bummer. It's because part of it is that I'm recruiting these Bone Tribe Beast Hunters, and elsewhere I'm recruiting mages and troops. I am starting to recruit as many human slaves as I can down in this province, and Gravetongue is reanimating ghouls, actually. So he is murdering the surviving population of Scorpion Cracks in order to turn them into siege defense, because I want this fort to have as much fort siege defense as possible, and ghouls are the most efficient undead for the purpose of siege defense. In terms of death gems, I was casting Dark Knowledge this turn, and in this province here, I found 2 death sites, which would increase my death gem income by about 20%, and then I immediately lost the province to Vinemen. So my patrol force over here, Ascanios, is going over to take the province back. I'm recruiting another commander to move in to try and patrol Vanheim because that unrest is not going down. So I need to patrol it down so that I can get my money back from this province and so that I can avoid hitting 100 unrest and shutting down the fort. That is kind of what I'm worried about happening. So I'm pumping out troops for patrolling purposes and for killing a monster boar purposes. And we'll see how it goes. I'm also going to kick the province defense up since they are also patrolling. But there's something really stealthy there, I'm sure. Unless there's some kind of site, but there shouldn't be a magic site here. This is a capital. I don't know. In any case, Ulm is moving troops around. I believe he's moving troops to reinforce the throne fortresses, which is great. That's what we need. I'm also going to start pumping out, once again, just a little bit of chaff. Really, really cheap chaff to push up our siege defense. It's going to be hard to push our siege defense up to the point that condors can't take it. And by hard, I mean pretty much impossible, because condors have a huge bonus to siege attacking. But we can at least get it closer. We can at least push it up to the point where it would take several turns. We have handed Marignan back to the enemy. So, and I fired off a message to Team Pantis telling them, hey, go ahead and drop some more BVCs on Marignan. I can't hold it at this point. And so, this army, which is a little bit stuck, is going to move south. That's what we're going to do with them. And we're just going to push on south through here. Or possibly, I mean, maybe I'll just stand still with them for now. Not quite sure. Haven't really decided. Have to talk to some people, to be honest. Because I don't really want to tip my hand too badly to Tis right now, assuming, of course, that Nuclear Monkey hasn't already figured out what it is that I'm doing, which he may well have. I mean, it's not like he and JB are dumb. They may well have figured out what's going on. This huge army that's building up right here, I find that slightly concerning. However, I think that army is being pushed towards Nazca, which is fine by me. Nazca has broken this bramble fort and may be capturing it. The geopolitical situation is all kinds of interesting. I'm leaving this fort. They're besieging it. They're slowly sieging it down with Eagle Warriors. That's fine. They've got more Eagle Warriors down here. There's a significant force of Bandar Log troops over here. He's still using Apsaras. Which, I mean, okay. I don't find Apsaras very effective, personally. Maybe I'm just wrong. It's happened before. It'll happen again. But anyway, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. I feel like we're in pretty good shape, to be fully honest. I've got Ramis here. Ramis is going to take... Actually, he's not going to take the Anakites. He is, however, going to take all these troops. There's one lonely skeleton we left behind. And Ramis is going to take troops down here. He's going to pick up a few... Actually, he's going to head down to Scorpion Cracks. Park his troops there to help defend Scorpion Cracks when the rush becomes obvious to everybody. We've got scouts down here that are going to just kind of run into enemy territory. I'm just double recruiting scouts out of this province. That's all I really want this fort for. To double recruit scouts and serve as a stopgap. The rest of these guys, I need to move some troops out of here because they're actually starving in this swamp since it has very low supplies. But I don't need them for combat right at the moment, so all of my sages, at least, can go back to research for the knots. Notorious BIG is poison resistant, highly poison resistant, actually. So, and almost fatigue neutral, not quite fatigue neutral. And does he have some troops with him? He has garbage troops with him. Let's drop off the garbage troops. Let's give Biggie some of those Anakites. These Anakites do not need to be where they are anymore. Snoop Dogg's got some Anakites. Biggie and Tupac got some Anakites. We'll give each of them one more. Og does not deserve an Anakite. Sorry, Og. Pinchas deserves Anakites, though, and I can't pronounce that name. Nikmepa, I guess. He deserves some Anakites. He's got 50, about 20 there. Let's just split up the skeleton horsemen a little more evenly as well. Okay, great. So, what we need to do is we need to get forces into a position such that they can defend the thrones and they can help assault the thrones. Actually, I just realized I was taking this army apart, and I should not take this army apart, because this army is going to be vital for fighting through to this throne, probably. Or, what was the other throne I was thinking of? I have to count thrones again. I'm constantly getting distracted. We need those two, we need that one, and we need that one. So yeah, this army needs to start moving in this direction in a pretty big hurry. So just do that. Tupac. Tupac needs to get up to there, to a lab where when that item comes through, he can cast a spell. Yeah, go up there. Great, we're recruiting another Talmai Elder this turn, and I'm hoping that it's an Astral 3. If not, the main reason I'm hoping that is that it's a lot easier for me to empower in Fire than to empower in Astral, because empowering in Astral is going to cost a lot of pearls that I don't really have. Empowering in Fire, on the other hand, my Fire Gem income is pretty crazy, so it should be fine. This little army. Yeah, to be honest, I think I'm gonna have him just sit there for the moment. Just like Nahum's preaching, but there's really no point to that. It's gonna be highly negative Dominion no matter what we do. So just patrol for now. Stop anybody from getting through. We'll pop in a couple points of province defense just because. We're gonna leave that province alone. These provinces are fine. I'm gonna leave that province undefended. Yeah, that'll be the plan. You can see here he's got Hatun Runas, Hurin Priests, and Ghouls all flying, defending that place. So my 128 siege strength, or whatever it was not breaking through anytime soon, since flying units get double defense. That still doesn't seem like a large enough army, though. Huh. Weird. He must have more than that. He must have. Because still, flying units still don't get more than, like, 1. Do Hatun Runas have a... Yeah, their siege defense is 1. So why was I not making progress? I am confused. But whatever. I'm not terribly interested in Team Bird, to be honest, so anymore. We will just let them do their own thing, let them fight their own wars. And they probably, so long as we defend that sufficiently stringently, probably won't be able to stop us from hitting thrones. We will also have to defend that very stringently. But for that, the real Slim Shady is going to be... What is this? The Haunted Torture Chamber. Ooh, 1 death gem. Cool. Great. I think I'm going to send the real Slim Shady over here to finally take out the last of Vanheim's provinces. Like, a long time after that should have been done. And I might send Macklemore with him. Macklemore needs armor is what he needs. He doesn't have any armor. He's got a charcoal shield. Let's swap that out for this shield of gleaming gold. Excuse my little stutter there. So let's send these two out to beat down Vanheim. And then we'll grab some shock resist gear in Ariu or Peacehaven, or Gold Mountains, sorry, and go and crack that throne. Take out the Springhawks. So as long as you have shock resist gear, this throne is not too bad. If you don't have shock resist gear, it's a nightmare because it's full of Springhawks who have armor negating lightning attacks. Yeah, but with my Bless, any one random piece of gear that gives you shock resistance should be more than enough to make me invulnerable. So I just swap out the Amulets of Anti-Magic or something, or just give Macklemore, you know, something that gives him shock resist, like Storm Spools or whatever. And then we just ride in there and we just kill them all. Won't be a problem. And that, I think, is the plan for now. Dar is just researching at the moment. Since I've site searched all down here for death level 3 or higher. I haven't site searched up there. So why don't you cast Dark Knowledge on Vokan? Just to be fun. And I think that'll pretty much be the turn. I'm going to talk with Nasajin, I'm going to talk with Sai, and I'm going to talk with Lucid and or the Last Pretender, although I don't really know how to get in contact with him, but I'll talk with Lucid. And basically try to assuage any fears he may have about this army, especially because this army looks super big. And he might not know exactly how many are in it. He probably does, because he probably saw the attack on Marignan originally. But he might not know exactly still. I forget exactly how the whole assembly process happened. And in any case, I'll see you in turn 43. Alrighty, turn 43. So, interesting stuff happening. Interesting stuff going on. We're moving these troops back up to reconquer this. Still getting a lot of unrest in Vanheim. Still need to find out what's going on there. So I actually have Ili Ma patrolling right now, since I don't have a commander in there at the moment. Prothus is moving up. We're recruiting some more human slaves to increase our patrol strength, so we're going to hunt that out eventually. Meanwhile, we have begun to move on the thrones. So, battle in Black Alps. And on my side, I have about 15 units all told, mainly Anakites, led by Tevel the Adon with his heroic endurance. He is fatigue neutral, actually slightly fatigue negative. He's highly magic resistant. He is highly protected. He has a Frostbrand, a Shield of Gleaming Gold to give himself awe, a Girdle of Might, Amulet of Anti-Magic, and Bracers of Protection. And on the other side, we have over 300 independent units. Scorpion Beasts with their high hit points and protection, a bunch of heavy infantry, a whole bunch of Will-o'-the-Wisps, which only have this Flame Burst attack that is hugely, hugely accurate and are ethereal, and a whole lot of Fire Snakes, which have firepower, so you can see the heat is buffing their attack skill and strength, and I believe... what else? There was something else. I feel like there's something else that firepower buffs, but anyway, it's not. It is defense skill. They have a Fire Flare attack and Venomous Fangs, and they radiate heat. Excuse me. They've got some archers, they've got some Horned Serpents with a Venomous Fangs attack, and they are led by Mehen the Solar Serpent with 7 fire and 4 water and a whole bunch of gems. And so, this battle goes more or less just like you expect. These wisps charge in, they can't hurt me, because they do entirely fire damage. Listen to the roar of that fire, by the way. And I have fire resistance 19. So, generally speaking, they don't hurt. Then come the fire snakes. The fire snakes are in a similar position, however they can poison me. The Anakites do get dragged down one by one. Let me just... Okay, sorry, I don't know how loud that is to you, but to me, that roaring noise is really loud. So you can see the Anakites are largely dead. However, they've taken a huge fraction of the enemy with them, and the fire snakes are now routing. Mehen is trying to come in, but what's left is we have these Ahiman Anakites right around Tevel, and Tevel is untouched. He has taken no damage whatsoever between the Awe, 33 protection, defense skill 26, and his fire resistance of 21. Nothing can hurt him in this fight very effectively. So, he and his surviving Adons just basically carve their way through until everything runs. The Heat Auras have actually fatigued out a lot of these units, so they never actually got to fight. And then the Anakites and Tevel race across the battlefield, killing and maiming as the enemy retreats. They never had to engage the Solar Serpent. They just fought their way through it cleanly. And then, as you see, everyone just gets killed. So much fatigue from those overlapping Heat Auras, it's silly. So, yeah, that's... I'm waiting to see if one of these... I think one more of these guys dies from poison in the post-battle phase. Nope, never mind. So, 4 survivors. Well over almost 200 kills. And we lost 9 Anakites. This is probably the most graphic example so far of why exactly people put a huge, disgusting bless on Anakites, because, yeah. I mean, not like these are super high quality units, but yeah. So, we have now conquered the first of our target thrones. So this is the Throne of Eternal Suffering, which we will definitely want to claim. This is going to be the Throne of Knowledge. And then we're going to need this throne and that throne. We've discussed that before. Bandar Log is actually kind of in trouble, or maybe kind of in trouble, because they've got this army coming in. There was a battle here that I don't think I got to see. Yeah, I didn't get to see it, because that's technically not my scout. It's Ulm's scout, so I didn't get to see the battle. But Bandar Log got whomped on here, and they killed only a few Supayas. And so this army is pushing into Bandar Log's territory, which is great, because I want Bandar Log to be weak. This is a Bandar Logish army. I'm going to have to move my troops out of the way. I'm not going to go and try to re-besiege Marignan. I'm going to... Ugh. I can't take them. I'm going to go down... I'm going to go down here into the Sinkhole Swamp. And if Nuclear Monkey doesn't like it, well, then too bad. I'll apologize, but I mean... I could run back over Marignan real quick. I'll figure that out. I'll work on that. Tevel is searching for magic sites, for earth sites here. We're moving up Uzziah, and I'm going to be contacting Wilbur Post to tell him to hop over here and claim this throne. And as soon as I can free up the money, actually, I should probably start right now. So I am actually going to cancel mage recruitment in some places. I'm not going to cancel that mage recruitment. I am going to start recruiting scouts again here. But we're going to cut out recruiting mages this turn so that we can start a fort. I need to keep working on Talmai Elders because I've only gotten a Fire 3 and an Earth 3 so far. I'm actually going to cut out Anakites. Actually, I guess I don't really need Talmai Elders. But yeah, we're going to start building the giant palisades right now. And it is going to need to... We're going to upgrade it as rapidly as we possibly can. So, we've got that going on. We're going to move up Uzziah. And Thar, I think. I think Thar is also moving. No, Thar is actually moving back. So we're going to move up Uzziah. We're going to search for magic sites. We're going to get some good stuff going on. So, that's taken. We need to take this, for which I need shock resist gear that I haven't gotten yet. Macklemore is going to go in to take this province from Vanheim and finally eliminate Vanheim from the game. He's just been freaking pillaging his own province for a while now. The real Slim Shady is going to duck up into my fort up there so that he can get gear. Ulm did not send me shock resist gear this turn. He sent me chi shoes, which is pretty cool. So I need to remind him to get me that. I also have an ivory bow. I forget where I got that from. I think it was a random event. But it's kind of a cool little item. In any case. So that is the plan so far. Everything's going to code. A little bit short on death gems because I have people casting Dark Knowledge. Yonatun up here. That's almost my name. And I had people casting Dark Knowledge down here like Dar. Dar is currently researching, which is fine. We're researching Alteration up to level 6 and 7. Level 7 will, of course, give us Phoenix Pyre and... where's the... Yeah, Soul Vortex is level 6. So that's an option for Zamzamites as well. But mainly I'm going up to Phoenix Pyre and potentially Doom and Bone Grinding. Both of which will be cool. I also have Battle Fortune. Battle Fortune is a good spell. So yeah, that is the plan. We'll keep going up Alteration to level 8 probably in order to get Will of the Fates and Ground Army. Ground Army makes my whole army at least moderately resistant to those thunder weapons. And Will of the Fates, of course, Will of the Fates gives everyone luck. And, very importantly, Ulm now has Earthblood Deep Well up, so our Earth Gem income is now stupid as opposed to merely very high. Which means that we can do whatever Earth spells we need to. This army is, as always, as it was, moving up towards Felicia. And yeah, that's the situation as it develops. So the real Slim Shady We'll go take out Chilad, then we'll claim that throne. So once we'll have that throne, we'll have that throne. That'll give us 5 more points. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I'm just double checking here. So that'll be 8 points, leaving us with 5 required. And then, yeah, then we'll claim the Throne of the Second Age. That'll give us 9, so we'll need 4 more. And then these 2 can't help but make us win. Like, there's no combination that doesn't let us win there. Probably the solution up here is going to be Gate Cleavers. I'm going to pull off the same kind of thing that I did in my Machaka game, where we sneak scouts with Gate Cleavers up close and then have them attack simultaneous with the army. And they bust the fort in 1 turn, so we can charge in and capture it in 1 turn. First, of course, we're going to have to bust through here. I think we're going to need a total of 2 Throne Claimers. So we're going to need Wilbur Post, and then I'm going to need 1 guy boosted up to Holy 3, which I can absolutely do. That is extremely manageable. One thing that I'm actually going to do right now is alchemize, because I don't need fire gems at the moment. And I definitely don't need air gems. But I do need death gems, so we're going to get some death gems. Also, my earth gem income is now really, really high, nationally speaking. So we're going to turn all those into death gems. And Dar, I have 27. Yeah, let's summon another Deton. Tupac is moving back here. I should be getting a fire booster for him this coming turn as well. I actually could probably forge a Skull of Fire. There's no lab here, so Thar can't yet, but he will be able to next turn. So I'll get a fire booster and save Tupac's life. He has unfortunately lost an arm, which makes him a lot worse as a super combatant. Like, a lot worse. And he's also gotten Battle Fright, which also makes him a lot worse. But, boy. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can staple a copper arm on him or something. Because only having 1 arm slot is actually honestly kind of a problem. Well, with Phoenix Pyre, it's not nearly so much of a problem. So long as he gets the proper amounts of reinvigoration, because he needs to be fatigue neutral, or fatigue negative actually, for Phoenix Pyre to work. We'll get him straight. We'll get it done. So that's the turn. We're not really fighting anybody right now. We're not fighting the birds particularly. We're kind of stacking. Old Dirty Bastard, unfortunately, is insane this turn, and so cannot be given orders. He has fortunately chosen to defend, which is nice. At least he hasn't decided to, I don't know, destroy something. We've got a reasonable amount of defense in here. 142 plus the wall integrity of 500. So if necessary, we should be able to hold this place for a couple of turns. We are also reanimating more and more ghouls, just transforming the population into the undead, which is fine by me. And yeah, that is going to be the turn such as it is. Bifrons has gotten these Anakites, and he is going to move in this direction with them. We're going to gather up those Anakites to help support our push for Kani's Plain. And we'll see how things develop. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in turn 44.